Think twice before drafting these so-called fantasy football stars in 2025. Their 2024 performances suggest that they might drag your team down. And today, all three of us are going to break down all the players you should be avoiding backed by real stats. Without further ado, let's get on into it.
First player on the list, and now let me come out here and say that we are not saying that this guy is a bad player. He is one of the best at his position, but the first on the list is going to be Patrick Mahomes for us.
Gotta be.
What?
Gotta be.
I concur.
Now, he did finish fantasy position 11 for quarterbacks last year, correct? So, I mean, he's a starting quarterback in your league.
Yep.
12-man league, he's a starting quarterback. However, I will say he is 29 years old going into his 9th season. Let me tell you this, boys. Patrick Mahomes did not break the top 12 finish at quarterback till week 9 last year was his first finish
that was
there.
Awful.
That's too deep into the season not to break the top 10.
If you're drafting him, and I believe his current draft ADP, he's going in the 5th round. If you're wasting your 5th round pick for your quarterback to not have a top 12 finish until week 9,
Can't have that.
I'm not happy with that.
Nope.
Can't have that. I mean, you got guys like Jordan Love out there that are Dak's going to be having a great year.
Now, also another little stat for you guys. His average depth of target has decreased every year since he's been a starter. He started his first year as a rookie at his average depth of target, 9.1. Then he goes down 8.5, 8.1, 7.4, 7.2, 6.5. And last year had a 6.4 average depth of target.
It's all those check downs to Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, yeah, exactly.
So,
Kareem Hunt.
I mean, obviously, like we said, Patrick is the cream of the crop when it comes to overall NFL quarterback, but like the dude just ain't throwing it downfield like he was with Tyreek Hill. It's a lot of these check downs and making these guys make plays on their own. If he's not running those balls in and he's just checking it down, 6.4 yard average of depth of throw, I mean, fantasy football quarterback 11. I mean, you're wasting a 5th round pick. You're locking yourself into Patrick Mahomes. You're not going to get somebody where you're like, oh, I'm going to place him over Patrick. You're just going to have to ride with these games all year long. And last year, you had to ride 9 weeks before he even finished in the top 12 for you. And that's not what you want as your starting quarterback. You want somebody that is like, okay, this guy's going to hold it down and be consistently top 12 for me, especially if you 12-man league, you want one of those guys in like the top 5, I would say, or is like flirting with it from week to week. Like,
yes,
1 week he's number 8. The next week he's number 3. Like, you don't want somebody at that back end of 12 just locking yourself in.
Correct. And now Rashee Rice going to jail. We don't like that. He's going to be out for like 6 games.
Hollywood and Xavier coming back. I mean, those weapons will be there. But again, I think you're saying, D, is you're paying for name recognition with Patrick Mahomes.
You're paying for the name.
Exactly.
You're paying for the Patrick Mahomes name.
And you go through those 9 weeks of not breaking the top 12. That's all you're going to be able to sell him for is the name recognition. You have to find a league mate that still sees him as Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
Not Patrick Mahomes. He's been the quarterback 14 for the past 9 weeks.
Exactly.
Right. So
you don't want that.
And me personally, I would wait. Like, I think a better option in your draft. I mean, if you're not going off of just the name, but like if you go out and get like a Justin Fields, Brock Purdy stack late in the year, I mean, those guys,
you're fine.
You can be floating in and out week to week. Like, okay, maybe he pops off this week because they're playing a shittier defense.
Exactly.
Or even not even that deep into the draft. I mean, you can go get a guy a couple rounds later, like Kyler Murray, Bo Nix. Bo Nix finished at 7 last year. I mean, those guys have potential to finish higher than Patrick this year, and they're going later in the draft.
Exactly. I'm right there with you.
Totally.
So,
I love you, but
again, it's not that we're saying we hate Patrick Mahomes. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But as far as fantasy purposes, it's just not smart. It's just not smart to lock yourself in at the 5th round with Patrick if he's going to finish at that 11-12 spot in fantasy for you. Like, there's better options for you out there.
Let it be somebody else's problem. Like, right? Let somebody else in your league deal with the headaches of Patrick Mahomes putting up, 14 to 15 points per week when we've taken him in the 5th round, expecting for that 20 plus.
Exactly.
And moving along on to our next candidate. Again, this is going to be a quarterback, and that is going to be quarterback Justin Herbert for the Los Angeles Chargers. His current ADP is looking at late round 6, early round 7, about quarterback 10 to 12 is his current ADP. Under the new OC Greg Roman, the Chargers offense is 10th most in run heavy for the NFL. They also operated in the second slowest pace, averaging 28.7 seconds per play. That means two things: slowing the time of possession and running that ball that's taking opportunities out of Justin Herbert's hand. And Justin's coming off of multiple seasons with lingering leg injuries. Last year, we dealt with the plantar fasciitis that held him out through training camp, and obviously his mobility throughout the season was limited just on the play calling and him not being able to extend the plays with his feet. In weeks 1 through 6 last year, he was quarterback 27 in fantasy points per game, averaging 163 passing yards a game. That's not going to cut it. And last but not least, Herbert is not a running factor. Herbert just had 911 career rushing yards and 11 touchdowns over his whole career. That's not remotely close to the dual threat quarterbacks from Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or a Justin Fields. And drafting him in this range, let's get more upside with the running abilities of a CJ Stroud. That's going around where Justin Herbert's going at right now in current ADPs. You're drafting pretty much Justin Herbert based on the name recognition and not his current situation. At this ADP, give us the guys with a little bit more rushing juice, a little bit more stacked passing games and offensive threats.
Next on the list is Breece Hall. He's got to go. Let's stop the hype, folks. It ain't it, all right? His 2023 season was phenomenal. We saw the decline last year. Now you're adding Justin Fields, a running quarterback. He's not going to get the opportunity. Last year, they were ranked number 32 in team runs per game. They're clearly not running the ball. They're going to throw the ball. They have a good wide receiver set. Justin Fields is going to extend plays. He's not going to be the guy. Now, granted, he was ranked number 4 when it comes to receiving yards and receptions as a running back. But let's be honest, Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson, that's going to be the main strategy here. It's not going to be, let's just check down to Breece. Justin Fields needs to shine, and that's not going to work. Not only that, but let's dive on into his red zone touches. Dude's ranked number 29. That is a trash can
Yikes.
waiting to happen. 29 in the red zone? That's awful.
It's unacceptable.
Unacceptable. And then let's talk true yards per carry. 4.2? Trash. Ranked number 39 last year. That is awful. So you're trying to get into this ADP of 33. Sorry, you're outside the top 50 for me, Breece. So if you're going to waste that pick at Breece Hall, hoping he's going to come back to that 2023 season, you're wasting your life. There's so many good running backs this year that you could get at a lower level, mid-range. You don't have to sell out on a Breece Hall. There's a lot of good players there.
You're chasing that sophomore season is what you're trying to do. And
Exactly.
It's just not panning out.
It's not. And we want it to, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. He still had over 800 yards and 400 yards, receiving, but you're banking a lot. He reminds me a lot of Devon Achane. He ain't going to get you to 1,000-yard season. He's going to rely heavily on that dump-off pass because clearly the run game doesn't work for you. Just like the Dolphins, the run game sucks. Jets and Dolphins got the same pattern. No run game. All the check down going on, that's fine. And that might work for some PPR leagues, but again, you're trying to find a workhorse that's going to get you 100 rushing yards a game. That could also get 4 or 5 catches a game too. That ain't Breece. That ain't Devon. We could talk about that later, but definitely not Breece Hall. Please do not waste a pick at 33 to get a trash can like Breece.
Moving on over to our player number 4, it is going to be none other than the most hated player by Don Westfall himself, Kyle Pitts.
Ew!
I do not care what the reports out of training camp are coming out and saying that Michael Penix is dialing it in with Kyle Pitts. If you are the guy that goes and drafts Kyle Pitts, and I don't care what round it's in, don't do it, because that was me last year. And
boy.
I swear everybody tries to do this, where this is the season Kyle Pitts comes out to play.
It ain't
and
it.
let me just tell you guys, that season is not going to show up. Unfortunately, the player, he is a specimen out on the field at tight end, but it just doesn't link up for at least that offense, I should say. Over the last 4 games last year, his percent on the field, 40%, 45%, 47%, and 44% of snaps was he on the field.
So he's out
Okay,
there.
he's out there, but listen to this. Now, for the Falcons as an offense, right? Their offense has chosen to play 11 personnel with 3 wide receiver sets 86.7% of the time. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, for this next stat for you, Kyle Pitts is competing with targets with the 3rd wide receiver on that team. He finished last year with 7 fewer targets than Ray McLeod.
Ew.
Ray
Trash.
McLeod. So if he's getting less targets than the 3rd receiver on that offense, and they're spending a 11 personnel, 3 wide receiver set for 86% of the goddamn plays that they're out there, and he can't get more targets than the 3rd wide receiver, he's not touching the ball at all.
He's not the guy.
That's not somebody that you want even on your team. And then and then in the grand scheme of things, you get down, I think he's going in around like 14 right now. You get down to round 14 and you got Pat Freiermuth sitting right there, who is going to be Aaron Rodgers' number 2 guy out there. You got DK and you got Pat, and you got who else there for Aaron to be dumping the ball to all across the field.
Exactly. And even with Jonnu Smith there too, they're going to have more targets and more yards than
Jonnu and Pat will finish higher than Kyle Pitts this year, and that's 2 tight ends on one team. Kyle Pitts just doesn't have enough share of ball on the field to be anywhere relevant to be in anyone's starting lineup. He would have to get that 70 to 75% snap share on the field in order for him to even be relevant out there catching passes or anything like that. 40% is just not going to cut it. And if you're getting 7 fewer targets than the 3rd wide receiver, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're not sniffing my fantasy league in any leagues ever.
I have been saying this about this guy since he got drafted into the league. It's always going to be, it's going to be this year. It'll be this offensive system. It'll be this quarterback. This will get Kyle Pitts over that hump. And for a little bit last year, those first couple of games, like, oh shit, he's got like 4 touchdowns, double what he's had for his whole career in the first 5 weeks, and then it's just obsolete. He gave you that quick little hope, and then he said, nope. Fuck your team. I'm going to kill you.
Oh, no. Yeah, my last stat for you guys, his last 9 games, he finished with 183 total yards and a high of 55 in one game. 9 games.
Crazy mathematics, but that sounds like 20 yards.
That's not good. It's not good.
That's bad.
I mean, bro, like that's not even riding bench on my fantasy squad. Like you're on waivers the whole year, buddy.
Dude, I'll go get me a Tyler Conklin. I'll go get me a freaking, like you were saying,
Tyler Higbee.
Tyler Higbee, yes, I'd rather have over
Pat
Kyle Pitts.
Freiermuth is right next to Kyle Pitts in the draft now.
I'd rather have him.
And he's going to be second in targets with Aaron Rodgers right behind DK. He's going to have plenty more volume on that team. Those first 4 picks were surprising, right? Now let's talk this next batch of players that we have coming up for you guys. And remember, if you're enjoying this content, hit the subscribe button, please, so you won't miss any fantasy football advice or news coming all year long.
For this next guy, very much in the same vein as DJ's last player, right? This guy, I don't care how well he does this season, he is not going to find my fantasy football team for the remainder of his career, and that is DeAndre Swift. Get him out. Get him away from me.
He's terrible.
Dude.
He's not the guy we want him to be.
He's ass. Last year, DeAndre barely got over 950 yards rushing, only had 6 rushing touchdowns with the Bears. His yards per carry dropped to 3.8, his lowest mark of his career, following 3-year averages of 4.6 and above.
3 is not
ass.
Good.
It's poop. Poo-poo.
God awful.
I could go out there and get that.
And boys, if you recognize, that's trending. It's trending the wrong way.
Very wrong way.
Yes.
I don't even know how you start with those numbers.
I know.
He literally just got there, so it might be a one and done for the Chicago Bears. And then also, despite a full workload, his scoring output minimal. I mean, guys, 6 total touchdowns last year. Notably, RBs with over 200 touches in 2024. Only Tony Pollard and DeAndre Swift failed to increase their touchdown count year over year. And last but not least for DeAndre Swift, he's getting drafted in that late, 23 to 28 range RB2. In that scenario, boys, I'd rather go get me my handcuff of my RB1, like a Zach Charbonnet to help me handcuff K9, or I go get a Blake Corum to help me cuff Kyron Williams. One of those scenarios, I'd rather go cuff my RB1 than take this draft pick on DeAndre Swift, who's going to do me absolutely nothing for the remainder of the season. I don't like, we're all hearing about this Ben Johnson Wizard offense, but we'll freaking see. I have very low hopes for you. DeAndre Swift. Now, Caleb Williams, the other receivers in that offense might have success, but the run game, no, we're good.
I rely heavily on the pass game this year.
I would be surprised if he's even the starter by the end of the year.
I would be right there with you.
But to that point, though, 100%, I think Roshan Johnson, after half the year, kind of similar to Bucky Irving over there, is going to take over.
Could be.
DeAndre Swift is going to fade away. Adios, mi amigo.
I would love that.
Now moving on over to the sixth guy on our list, and this is going to be a hot take, folks. But before you come and kill me in the comments, I said the same thing about C.J. Stroud last year. You guys came and hated it on me. And look what he did. Absolute trash can last year. Got the job done in 1 game. But this year, C.J. Stroud is going to be Jaden Daniels hands down.
Oh.
Terry McLaurin does not want to come to practice, doesn't want to play. Deebo Samuel, washed. You're hoping for a highlight reel of a season. He's not going to get it for you, folks.
What?
This is a tough take, Clay. This is a tough pill for me to swallow, my son.
I think the CJ Stroud comp from his rookie to sophomore season is pretty good comp right there, Clay, on Jaden Daniels, what he could be doing in his sophomore season. We were saying the same thing about CJ Stroud, his rookie season, going, holy shit, this guy's a fucking monster. And then come out sophomore year, and it's like, whoa, bud.
Well, let's go over a few stats that I want to point out here, okay? He finished number 16th, okay, with 3,500 yards. Not the greatest, all right? But what scares me, he finished 18th in pressured throws, 85. Danger plays, 17. Now, he was ranked 25th in that. Interceptable balls, he was ranked 26th in that. Air yards per attempt at 7.4, he's ranked number 23. So let's get to the real ones here at the deep ball completion rate. Okay, this is your throwing your ball up. Let's hope for the best. 30%, ranked 29th. So you got lucky last year. Pressure completion percentage, 54%. You're ranked 26. So all of this with Terry going out and Zach Ertz, he's getting old. Okay, Brian Robinson's still not a true RB1. We hope so, but still not there. And you're going to rely on Deebo. Jaden Daniels is going to flop so hard this year. And I hate to say it because I love the winning mentality that Jaden Daniels has over there. But with this way stacking up for the Commanders, guys, I'm telling you, it's just like C.J. Stroud. It's just like Matt Ryan. It's just like Justin Herbert. It's just like Andrew Luck. They have a 65% chance, all quarterbacks that enter to the NFL to have a sophomore year slump. He's going to hit the hammer on this one. I'm telling you, avoid it. He's going at 39 ADP. It's a nice spot, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of true quarterbacks that are going way lower that you know can hit a lot better than Jaden Daniels this year.
Wow, that was quite the take there, Clay. Quite the take.
Now that we've covered half the list with 3 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, and a tight end, before we get into our final 4 picks here, folks, please give us that love and give us a like, comment, and subscribe. If we've had our hot takes get hot, put it down in the comments. If we've missed someone or you have questions, put it down in the comments. We're always going to return your guys' reply every day, all day, as we post on all social media platforms. Now, without further ado, let's finish out our 4 guys. We got 2 running backs and 2 receivers coming at you.
Coming in hot for player number 7, we are going with Mr. Najee Harris for the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I know that they paid him a pretty penny to come on over there and run that football for them. But why did they go get Amarian Hampton then, who is far better, far versatile, and is going to take over that backfield? Now, I know that Greg Roman likes to split his running backs. I mean, we look at last year, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and that was a pretty healthy split all through the year. But again, Amarian Hampton, he is going to outperform Najee earlier in the season, and it's not even going to be close to where it's like, why are we putting the ball in Najee's hands? Okay, Najee wasn't even that great in Pittsburgh to begin with. Let's just start there. Also, coming into training camp already, rocking eye patch, blowing out his eye. I mean, is he going to see the holes? Because I think you're at a little disadvantage rocking one eye going through the a-hole.
Yep.
Whoa.
You might need your vision to be a good NFL running back. You need a good vision looking through a-holes. Say what?
You need to be able to have two eyes to find that a-hole, ladies and gentlemen. But again, Najee, he's going in round 10 or 11. And let me just break this down for you guys. Those running backs, tight ends, and quarterbacks that are going around that same time. You got Travis Etienne, Zach Charbonnet, Javonte Williams, Ramondre Stevenson, Tajay Spears, and J.K. Dobbins. Me personally, I'm taking every single one of those guys at running back over Najee Harris.
Yes, 100%.
Tight end wise, you got the Jonnu Smiths, the Evan Ingrams, Mark Andrews, Tyler Warren, the Rook, and David Njoku. I'm taking all of those tight ends over Najee Harris.
Everyone but Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram will not be on my team ever again.
And let's say Evan's gonna ball, dude.
Bro, go ahead. Let him be your guys' problem because I will not touch that guy ever again.
If you're getting down to 10 and 11, I mean, you already have 3 or 4 solid running backs. I mean, you're trying to, like what Olsen said earlier, handcuff guys. And Najee Harris is not a handcuff guy.
I mean,
That's
like we said,
guy.
Zach Charbonnet, Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, shit, you got Javonte Williams, the starter for Dallas right now, over Najee.
Looking nice.
And then quarterback-wise, if you're looking to, like, maybe get your backup quarterback there, you're looking at guys like Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Caleb Williams, Drake May. Like, would you not rather have one of those backup quarterbacks than Najee Harris riding your bench?
All day long. Give me one of those guys.
So me personally, I think it's a no-brainer. I don't think Najee should be touched. I mean, maybe if you want to go take a little swing last round of your draft, throw him on your bench. I don't think he even deserves a bench spot at this point because I think Omarion is going to be the full bell cow there. Whether they say they split or not, I think he's just far better. How would you not run him all game?
And that's the reports coming out of camp. Omarion's looking like the dog.
And the latest report coming straight from Greg Roman's mouth himself, Omarion Hampton looks faster in pads. We are preparing him for a Derrick Henry-like workload. That's weird.
Like
Derrick Henry ain't sharing carries. So if we're preparing for that workload, Najee Harris ain't sniffing the field.
Yeah.
He's going to be a great mentor, just like Aaron Rodgers is over there at the Steelers.
Omarion Hampton, boys, should be on your list. That guy is going to eat. And for our 8th player of our avoid drafting list, guys, this is going to piss some people off. But that's going to be.
I like it spicy.
That's going to be Tyreek Hill from Miami Dolphins. So first things first, Tyreek is turning 31 this year in 2025. Right? Again, NFL players, they cross that 30-year landmark. They start to decline in overall performance on the field. So boom, that's already number 1. Number 2, Tyreek underwent his 2nd wrist surgery this past season and going into this next offseason. How healthy are we expecting him to go from week to week? Next year, being over 30, now these injuries start to pile up, and obviously it's going to hurt his ability to catch the football if his wrists are all fucked up. And last year, huge mega bust for Tyreek. With high expectations, Tyreek Hill finished wide receiver 17 in fantasy points per game.
Don't tell me about it, dude.
Bro, I know. Yeah. Only surpassing 100 receiving yards twice in 11 full games that Tua was healthy, averaging 12.4 PPR points a game, significantly below his ADP expectations.
Not to mention when Tua goes down, forget about it. You're screwed. And he's so likely to get a concussion every year. This is a great avoid player.
That's an excellent segue to my next point, right? Tyreek's fantasy production is so tethered to Tua's availability and health throughout the season, right? Games without Tua, he'll average just 8.6 PPR points on 6 targets.
Ugh.
Boys, 8.6. That's hardly elite numbers given anyone, right? Not just alone Tyreek Hill.
I'd rather have Hunter Renfrow.
Facts. Guys, pretty much you're drafting Tyreek Hill at his current ADP with expectations of having an elite bounce back year putting in that top 5 wide receiver range. Instead, fantasy managers might get a mid-tier wide receiver 2 concerning with Tua's health issues. In this current ADP, guys, we can go get ourselves some BTJ. Yes, Trevor Lawrence isn't great, but at least he's going to be out there. We can go get ourselves a Nico Collins, an Amon-Ra St. Brown, a Malik Neighbors. Those are the guys kind of going around where Tyreek Hill is now. I'd rather have that youthness, right? That
absolutely. Lad, give me Lad.
Okay,
Lad
little Lad.
Tyreek.
I'm good with that too, right? But give me some youthness at this position, especially with the uncertainty of Tua. Unfortunately, right? Tyreek is tethered to Tua's health.
Moving on over to our 9th player. We mentioned his name early on in this segment, and I'm going to tell you, folks, he's looking just like Treylon Burks. You wanted to get him high. You rode the wave. Here we go. Rookie season comes out, does great, and shits the bed, folks. This is Rashee Rice. The dude's going to jail. He's going to be out for 6 games. He's currently going in the 33 ADP. We don't like that. We never have liked that. He missed 12 games last year. He's already getting hurt. It's looking like Treylon, okay? And again, that rookie season, 938 yards, 7 touchdowns. Sounded great. Last year, even in his 4 games, okay, 288 yards. That sounds great until he got hurt, but let's be honest, he's not the guy. Xavier Worthy's the guy. Hollywood Brown, we still don't know. But Rashee Rice is looking like a Treylon Burks here. He looked like he was going to be a Victor Cruz. He's cruising his way out of the league. He's doing dumb stuff off the field, and he can't catch the ball on the field. He's not the guy, folks. I'm telling you. Avoid this player at all costs.
Yes, I agree, Clay. I mean, 6 games, that's almost half of the fantasy football season, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, I think he will be beneficial when he comes back. I don't think you'll have to spend as high in drafts for him right now. But again, if you're drafting him, that's taking up a bench spot on your roster for somebody that doesn't play half your season.
Exactly. Those are crucial moments.
Now, I will say, if you're smart about it and you go look at like a Juju Smith-Schuster or a Sky Moore, and maybe you pull the trigger on them and you're happy with stashing them and Rashee Rice, then you got something there, because now you can rock Juju until Rashee comes back, and when Rashee comes back, then you just flip-flop them.
Exactly. So, I think that's the play to make. Right?
I think that's the only route that you could really go with Rashee. But if you're just going up and spending, I want Rashee, I mean, you're missing half your season with him. And then he's just taking up space on your bench half the season where you're not going to drop him. I mean, it's not like, why did I waste a draft pick if I'm going to drop him in 2 weeks?
Exactly. I mean, and if Rashee's hanging out still in the 7th, maybe 8th,
yeah,
then sure,
totally
pull the trigger on him. But you're not going to waste a guy that's not going to start for 6 weeks with the amount of wide receivers and running backs that are tethered in this year's draft that are looking like a lot of upside to every single one of them. You're not going to waste that pick. So let him drop. Let somebody else have to carry that load for the first 6 weeks. And again, when he does come back, guys, he had a major injury. It's not like it was like a broken toe or a sprained wrist. Like, we're talking a full torn LCL. That's 13 games gone. Like, that's not something easy to come back. That is a high severity to your body that now you have to hope to God he doesn't get hurt again. Again, who does that sound like? Oh, I don't know. Treylon Burks sounds like to me. That was a terrible pick.
I also think you could be the sneaky guy in your league. Let that person go get that Rashee Rice in your league, and then you go get that Juju. So now they really don't. Yeah, Juju
Hollywood.
or Sky Moore. Well, Hollywood and Xavier Worthy are probably going to go a little bit higher now since Rasheed's out.
True.
But if you still want a piece of that Chiefs offense for a smaller price, I mean, Juju or Sky Moore has got to step into that third wide receiver role now that Rasheed's going to be out. If you go lock in one of those guys, then you're really screwing that manager that has that Rashee Rice pick, because they don't get to use that till week 7, and then you got a receiver on the field for the Chiefs for 6 weeks.
And especially if that guy drafted bad, he's going to want to trade you. He's going to want a piece of that Juju.
And you have leverage now.
You got the leverage. You're the driver in the driver's seat, folks.
Moving on over into our final player on our list, we are going to go with none other than Jonathan Taylor. Now, before we freak out, ladies and gentlemen, I do know that he is the true bell cow that we are looking for on our fantasies, right? He was ranked number 1 for opportunity share on his team last year for the running back position. So he is that guy that is getting the ball the most when it comes to a running back. However, being that number 1 spot, his true yards per carry last year, 4.3, which ranked 24th overall.
Oh, God.
Yards per touch, 4.9, which ranked 24th overall. So you're telling me that the number 1 running back in the league that gets the most touches is ranking in at the 24th spot for running backs in yards per touch?
That's low in RB2 action right there.
That's not good. And when you work a guy and you work a horse so much, you're missing time. 2022 high ankle sprain, 3 games. 2023, he missed 7 games with 2 ankle injuries and a torn thumb ligament. Last year, high ankle sprain. That sprain in that ankle is lingering, okay? That's not good. They're working him to death and out of his career over there in Indianapolis.
And it's just rushing, like you're saying, Clay. That is just a rushing stat that they're giving him the ball. JT finished with only 18 receptions last year, ranking number 48th overall. So he ain't getting passes out of the backfield. That is just straight hand the ball off and let him just keep dying out there. Because, I mean, he ain't getting very many passes. I mean, you're ranking 48th at running back for receptions. I mean, dude, all your yards are coming from just carries. And you're ranking at 24th.
Ranking at 24th, but I mean, fantasy points per opportunity, you're ranking number 44. So every time you have an opportunity to get a point, you're not the guy. You're not the guy.
Yeah, what is he? He's 0.74 points per opportunity.
Ew.
I mean, he ain't even at a full point right now. And he's getting the most opportunities.
Let's not fail to mention, though, this guy's juke rate is ranked 43 in the league. So, yes, he's an absolute dog. But what does he do all day long? He hits the C gap. He hits the B gap. He hits the A gap. Once he gets to that secondary and then he sees the first linebacker, he ain't moving. He's just going head up. He has no jukes. He has no agility. He's not the guy that's going to get you that 10, 15, 20-yard run every single 3 downs. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen every once in a while if that hole's there and everybody gets their block secured. But let's be honest, how often does that happen? It doesn't.
And then last but not least, boys, it's the durability and the health and the availability of Jonathan Taylor. Guys, how many seasons in his career has he gone through 17 games, a full 17 games?
He hasn't, dude. It's not.
I think it's once. I think it's once his sophomore season, his career year. I think it's his one time, 17 games. Everything else we're getting like 10 games, 14 games, 11 games. The durability is not there, and we're not gonna spend this high ADP, this high draft.
2021, 17 games played.
Okay.
And that was his best. He was number 1.
And that's his only year, right? Everything else, he has not completed a full season.
Correct.
And that offense, the offensive line is something to be respected, but everything else, Anthony Richardson, Danny Dimes, the receivers, they all suck. It's bad.
Danny Dimes is going to lead that offense this year.
And
it's awful.
And I would say Danny Dimes has made his money in the league with his feet, not with his arm. Right? I think that could cut into more of Jonathan Taylor's opportunities throughout the season.
Exactly. I mean, it's just the overall. I mean, you got Josh Downs as your wide receiver 1 because Michael Pittman is an absolute trash can. No hate towards the guy, but we haven't seen him do anything. That could be another avoid guy right there. Now, if you guys stayed here long enough, thank you guys for watching. But again, these are players that we've done deep dives on to avoid. Some of them might sting. Some of them might be super hot takes. But again, we've seen everything. The stats don't lie. Please do not fall for these traps this year.
And if you draft these guys too early, they can cost you critical points, especially in those PPR and TD heavy formats. You don't want that. It's always better to target high floor or those breakout candidates than to rely on reputations alone.
So thank you guys for watching. If you found the value here, subscribe for fantasy football content all year long. Hit that bell icon and drop a comment. Who are your bust picks this year? And please draft smart and win big in 2025. Let's get it.